calmness and stoicism, Smith was White Star Line's senior captain and was often dubbed the millionaire's captain for his popularity among the wealthy. He died when the ship sank. He was survived by his wife and their daughter. Bernard Hill played the Titanic's captain, Edward J. Smith, in 1997. Survived the sinking of Titanic and later testified before the U.S. Senate in an inquiry about the disaster. In the days after the sinking, the press harshly criticized him for saving himself while women and children were still aboard the ship. He testified that he only left the ship after helping others into lifeboats and confirming that there were no more women or children in sight. However, eyewitness reports contradicted his assertion. Joseph Bruce Ismay was played by Jonathan Hyde. Thomas Andrews. Played by Victor Garber, Thomas Andrews was the shipbuilder in charge of building Titanic. Accordingly, it's Andrews who informs Rose halfway through the movie that the ship has 1 hour before it sinks and that there aren't enough lifeboats for everyone on board. As depicted in the movie, the real Andrews handed out life jackets and tried to help as many people as possible get to safety. Andrews perished on the Titanic and was reportedly last seen in the first-class smoking room, where the film depicts its final shot of him. However, others claim to have seen him on the ship's deck throwing chairs to people in the water. Margaret Brown. Kathy Bates played Margaret Brown in the movie, commonly known as the unsinkable Molly Brown. She earned her nickname because she urged the crewmen in charge of her lifeboat to go back and rescue more passengers. In the film, Brown is depicted frequenting first-class gatherings, notably the dinner scene featuring Rose, Jack, and other prominent passengers. Accounts vary as to whether or not the lifeboat went back, but Brown's story took on a life of its own. After her death in 1932, she became known as the unsinkable Molly Brown, due to her assistance to others during and after the sinking of the Titanic. John Jacob Astor. John Jacob Astor was not only the richest passenger on the Titanic, but was also one of the richest men in the world at the time of the sinking. Astor was played by Eric Braeden in the film and first appears during the dinner party scene when Rose introduces Jack to him, and Madeline JJ was last depicted in the movie's third act, standing by the Titanic's grand staircase as water rushes in. His body was recovered 10 days after the sinking, which was eventually recovered and identified by initials sewn into his jacket. Madeline Force. Madeline Force was John Jacob Astor's second wife, played by Charlotte Chatton. As depicted in the movie, she was pregnant at the time of the Titanic voyage. She and her husband were on their way back to America, so the baby would be born there. She survived the sinking and gave birth 4 months later.